Omera Radio Entertainment.
Visit LegalZoom.com to save on your legal needs like wills for $69, LLCs for $99, plus filing fees, and also get access to a network of legal plan attorneys for guidance. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but provides self-help services at your specific direction. Enter discount code TMOS for more savings at LegalZoom. That's discount code TMOS.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeOmeraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Shaving cream, be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll, what is it?
Always stay clean.
Well,
Do you want me to play it?
no.
So we know.
Yeah, you can find it. 'Cause
It's Benny
appropriate.
Bell, Mike.
It's appropriate for our opening segment today.
Cool, okay.
Recently I took a trip to one of those big box stores.
Should you needed to buy a big box?
I needed to be I've changed my shaving habits, and I have gone from electric
Boogie woogie woogie.
to a blade.
Back to a blade. Now you probably
Love
grew
it.
up with a blade.
I grew up with a blade.
I've tried electric. I've
Straight
never.
razor, just like Al Capone.
I've never tried an electric razor that I enjoy.
Well, I have a good one, but I decided that in the interest of time, it was actually quicker for me to use a blade.
I have a sad story to tell you.
It's about shaving.
It may hurt your feelings a bit.
It may hurt your feelings a bit, but
Last night when I walked into my bathroom, I stepped in a big pile of shaving cream.
Here's the lyric.
Shave every day and you'll always look keen.
Always
Look
look keen,
keen, thank
of
you.
course.
So I
Benny
have,
Bell.
for show and tell today, I've brought in a big box store, large package of razor blades, because razor blades are expensive.
They are. Oh, they murder you.
So you want to go to the big box store so you can get a fairly decent deal on them. Now, I know there's a potential TMOS advertiser out there that I've seen online.
I know the
somebody
one.
that sells the cheap. You've seen that all over
It's
the.
a club.
It's a club.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
No need to mention them right now,
Yes,
but I
that's
know
right.
what you mean. And
Maybe we'll mention them later.
And I think Mr.
When we have
Yoko
them
is
as a
actually.
client.
I think he might be pursuing them.
Really?
Because I mentioned something. I said, I shave my head.
Yes.
And that it would be a great gimmick for them that
Yeah,
I
and
shave my head
Oscar
every day.
shaves his.
I use a
privates.
straight razor.
Very good. Yes, that's
Well,
right.
it's a combo, but I mostly use straight.
So I have brought in a couple of things today. I have brought in this packaging, which for the last week I have awakened
vexing?
because you know what it is, Rob, and Oscar, you know this too. Do you shave with a blade?
I do.
You
I
know-
think a real man shaves with a blade.
When you get to that point on a razor, your face knows it. Your face tells you. It's just kind of like it could face.
Well, but I try to shave at least every day.
Yeah, well, I do. I do too.
And you know,
No.
Mike, not to be cruel, you kind of have to because of the grayness of your beard.
Yes.
If you skip a day, you don't look rustic and manly. You look sort of sparkly.
I look kind of homeless.
Yes, you do. You do.
Now,
I
I
can skip a day sometimes.
Yeah, and Oscar's right. There are days that I don't, but most of the time I like to, and I enjoy the process. However, over the last 4 or 5 days, I have noticed that the razor is just about out of gas, and I've been going under the sink where I keep this. And then what I'll do is I'll go.
Oh, so you've had these for a
try
while.
to get at it.
Can
and
I ask what big box store you patronized?
BJ's?
A club store.
That's where I went to get these, and I
Can
will
I
tell
see
you.
that real quick?
Now I should have ordered them on Amazon at Mike O'Mara Show. We're
As I
all
do.
going to get our chance.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, I don't know if I want to go
because
first.
the question is, I have been trying to get into this, and I have not been successful.
Right.
There is no way that I can open up this unbelievably hard plastic and get to my razor blades.
And I know for a fact that if you don't use your razor, if you don't change it out regularly, it's very hard on your face.
So here it is.
Yes.
And incidentally, I don't mind giving them a plug. The Gillette Mach 3 sensitive skin razor.
Oh, I've
Is it-
stepped up to the 4-blade Gillette.
It's probably harder for you to open that, especially after when you usually reach for a razor, you've already lathered your face.
Yes.
You've washed.
He's wet the brush.
Yeah, you've washed your hands.
Lather longer.
So you probably reach for them when you have slippery hands.
I think if you went back and listened to all our shows, Monday would be the day that we reference the Grease Man more than
Always.
any.
Well, because we all spend
Which
our
is a tribute
weekends.
to him as a broadcaster.
We spend our weekends listening to Best of Grease.
Somebody reach out to Doug Tract. I'd like to get him on this show.
I don't think he's reachable, but I'll try.
I'd love to get him on the show.
His last
If he-
Facebook post was from 2011.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think he's sort of.
Well, Rob, people
you
do
can find
communicate.
him.
People do communicate outside of Facebook.
I will find him. I will find him.
Rob's. There it is. There's the first reference to this. His last Facebook post was 2011. I'm Rob Spiewak. That means he's dead to me.
All right, but let me ask you this.
Yes,
let me
go
offer
ahead.
this.
Yes.
If someone was still.
Yes, offer this.
Let me offer this.
Offer this.
Perhaps for a consideration.
Yes.
If Doug Tract really wanted to be in the thick of radio things, don't you think he'd be keeping up with social media? That was my point.
I would think so. But what I brought in, I brought in
the
this.
razors, yes.
I brought now listen to me. There's a payoff here, perhaps.
Okay.
I brought in this, and I brought in this.
Oh,
a hammer.
Because I am very frustrated, and not just a hammer.
That's a framing hammer.
This is a framing carpentry hammer.
Yeah. How is it
This-
determined as a framing hammer?
I
Oscar?
still, because it's got these little things.
Yeah,
on
well,
it.
basically, if you're using a framing hammer, it's really for the infrastructure when you're building a house.
It's
Okay.
what it
Because
is a turbocharged hammer.
Yeah, no, but you also wouldn't want to use that hammer to hammer a nail on a finished wall, because if you miss the nail, it will actually harm
damage the wall,
It'll
yeah.
damage the wall.
Because it's super powerful.
I'm with you.
It's a super powerful hammer. That's all. He can do all his framing talk all he wants. Me, this is the biggest one I got in the house.
And
this is
one of the
one I
reasons-
stole from a contractor.
One of the reasons it is so powerful is the length of the handle, right?
I don't know that much about it. I just know that the impact is clearly not a finishing hammer. Like,
Right.
It doesn't have a smooth end at that.
Certainly not a mineral hammer.
No.
No. What we're going to do is
Back to the mines.
We're going to go around the room. Each person is going to get 60 seconds on the clock to open up the case with the blades. And if you're successful, now I don't want a lot of forcing. I simply want you to
No.
look at this product and see if you can figure out how to open it up.
And I think as by means of setup, if you're not watching on Ustream, what it is, it's an actual pack, like a cardboard blister pack that has what is it, maybe 30 razors in it?
I don't know. I didn't count them.
But
20 cartridges, Rob.
because of theft prevention, they've encased the actual blister packaging in a hermetically sealed plastic box
Yeah.
that I would say is 1 inch by 10 inch by 10 inch.
Here it is, and the thing is,
like
I don't
you bought
know
an
whether-
iPad.
Should they have maybe opened this up
Yes,
at the
I'm
store?
thinking there might be a key for
We'll
it.
find out.
Let's hand it
All
to
right,
Oscar.
can I get the clock?
And see, go.
All right.
Oscar has it in his hand right now.
Okay, this is
Because I do not have the kind of mind that can figure this type of thing out.
It is the new Rubik's razor.
Yes, exactly. And incidentally, we're not going to fake it here. If any of you guys can figure out how to get this open, the hammer does not come down on the plastic.
Doesn't darken your door.
Exactly.
Oscar, is there
Pony,
some
I'm
sort
going to
of
need you to
secret
slide
release?
that chair up over here. I think that's the best way to No, that'll.
Why don't we put
there
it-
is a release.
Mike,
I just don't know.
Put it
Yes.
on the glass table.
That's a great. I was thinking about that too. Pony, we need some sort of
This is
chair to,
confusing.
or
I don't
something.
know.
I don't want to hurt
feel-
anything else.
Is there a Gillette
I
logo
feel
on
like
the
the
plastic box?
moron that sold this to you.
Should have had a key.
This plastic is worth
Now, Pony, I just said
probably
that's going to rip the leather. We need another chair.
equal
Get
amount
one of the
of-
kitchen chairs.
of the
I
wholesale
don't know. Get
value
something
of the
to hit it on.
razors.
So many people talking.
So,
I can't do it.
are you giving up
I-
already?
Oh, you still have time on the clock.
No, but I feel like what has happened is Mike is right, and you mentioned this in passing. Well, the person that sold this to you
was an idiot and didn't
they
take it out of the
just gave
package.
you the security package.
Isn't
as
it like
well.
the big plastic thing on a pair of jeans that should be released by the person who sells it to you?
Hand it to Rob.
Let me see this.
All right, let's see what happens.
Maybe these big mitts could work that out. All right, Rob
He's got
is
more of an analytical mind.
Yeah,
I
he's
think,
looking
in
at that.
some regards.
Oh, it's the
That's
Alphex
it.
is the brand of the box. And yeah, I do think that this was perhaps supposed to be removed before you. Now, here is a release of some sort.
Well, Oscar
Yeah, it looks like
identified
it'd be a
that.
key.
What
let's
if
see.
I sort of
Rob is trying
forced
to.
it with a pencil?
Well, he does. Oh, the pencil.
Well, I mean, because I can't get my nail under it. It's hinged on this
There is a
side.
hinge.
Yeah, there
So-
is a hinge.
What if a die pack explodes?
Oh, my
Rob,
God.
Rob's trying a little bit more vigorously to get at it. Oscar really looked at it and gave up because it looks impossible.
I said-
I could maybe with a chisel to get under
Why?
it,
Why hurt the moneymakers? My hands.
That's
Your
right.
delicate little flowers.
but then he'd lose the baking podcast.
Exactly.
No, there is 100%. Look, there's electronics in there.
Yes.
There is 100%
It's
chance
like-
that there is no way this should have ever left the
It's
BJ's
like
Club.
you stole it.
They
Did
think,
you
you know
steal
what?
it?
They probably have you on surveillance footage.
Yeah.
As Liddy would say.
Surveillance. Hey,
Surveillance footage.
Pony, you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Hang on.
Please.
That's good.
There's a.
All right, he's taking
See
a
if
look
you
at
can do it with a cigarette lighter.
Now, Pony has worked in retail, correct?
This is true, but I never sold anything with these weird packaging.
You know, Mike,
okay.
selling your body is not considered retail.
It's an art form.
That was when Pony lived in Thailand for a long time.
You know, he probably could climb in.
Right.
We have.
Get in there and go, I'm trapped in the box.
I'm not having any luck in here.
Help me.
Don't make shtick. Open it. Don't
Nothing?
make shtick.
It's
How's
got
it going, Pony? Any progress?
There's no way to get this out of here without putting it over the scanner device that opens it.
Is that true?
Oh. Yeah, there's probably a sensor goes up, and it opens it.
I can see the little receiver that picks up that signal. Yep, it's hammering time.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Very good.
right.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
very much, then. Let's bring it over
Okay,
here.
remember, you got your safety goggles on?
Yeah, well, I've
Of
got
course.
glasses
Okay,
on.
there you
I've
go.
got
That's
glasses
important.
on. All right.
Let's make sure the
Can you
camera
stop the
catches
clock?
that. I'll get that.
Before, all right,
Oh, there we
thank you. Now, before I do that, I might try the prying.
Okay.
I'm going to try to pry.
Oh, don't hurt yourself.
I'm gonna twist.
Mike, this does not look good. Oh, no, Mike is trying to wedge it open.
Doesn't seem to want to
Well, you can't get. Are you in it or under
I'm
it?
in it.
You got, make sure not to hurt the contents inside the case.
They're razors. He'll be fine. You know what you might want to do, Mike? Oh.
Uh-oh, here we go. Is it progress? Ah!
There we go, huh?
Big
Nice.
win?
Are you in?
Big win?
Not really.
Well, have you ever shaved with a dented razor? That's painful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay, Mike, you know what you need
Well,
to
they
do?
don't want criminals.
What do
They
we-
don't want criminals to take them.
I know.
What are the odds Mike
So,
actually took these
Put it in there,
by accident?
and then
You know, he
I'm
does
gonna
forget
step
things
on
once in
it.
a while.
for
They're
prying
completely off
purposes,
mic right
right?
now.
No, we're on mic. We're just
They're
not near the
completely
mic.
off mic.
Okay, here
Well,
we go.
he's on mic
It
technically.
came out.
This is a day for Ustream, by the way, if you're out there.
Put it in. Put it
You
in
should
again.
eyeball.
Put it all
Put
the
it
way
in,
in.
Rob.
Yeah.
Put it all the way in.
Yeah.
All right, put it all the way in.
Rob,
wait.
don't use your crotch as. Oh,
That was
please.
my thigh.
Oh, look at your crotch.
Go. Go.
He's got Rob's got cargo
Wait a minute.
khakis
Go.
on.
Wait.
He's 45 years old or whatever he is.
42.
I'm sorry. I just noticed that. It's not a good look for him.
Right.
All right, Mike is now on the floor. Rob is covering his face.
Hold on.
There.
I need to read
Oh
it.
my
Ah,
goodness.
God damn it.
It's a comedy of errors, and it's not really that funny.
Ridiculous. Hold on. Can I take one swipe? 'Cause I got
All
an
right,
idea.
now Rob has
I
the
got an
hammer in his
idea.
hand. He's
What we
about
need
to
do
smash.
Is like when we're doing a
in-
bank vault. You
Yeah.
don't go for the lock. You go for the hinges.
Yeah, you go. He's smashing the hinges now. Hinges now. You're a bunch of criminals. You were the worst criminals ever. Could you imagine somebody doing this in the aisle at Costco? Success!
Rob Spiewak with the win.
That's how
Rob
you do it.
Spiewak
Yeah.
All right.
that was strong because he said go for the hinges and it popped right open.
I would say this. Before you congratulate yourselves, you should go back and watch this Ustream video.
Really?
And watch the
Well, I didn't do anything.
The
I sat like
comedy
that.
that ensued.
I was very womanly. I
Video.
sat over, and no offense to any women, they could probably.
Ah, you just did
No,
it.
no. And women shave too, Mike.
Look at that.
Just
Yeah.
not their face.
And now I just have to pry open the cardboard. There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Perfect.
Woo, big win.
That's fantastic.
Everybody take a breath. This was
That's
truly a
awesome.
mitzvah.
Wow, that's fantastic. What a wonderful mitzvah. Rob, start the show, you hump.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
I'll tell you what I know. I know that, in fact, too many kids that begin with judgment if you drink to excess. But I also know that judgment returns when you sober up. I know, and so do you. When you flip out on an acid trip, you never know when you're going to slip out again. This is now, Bentley, not a couple of years ago. We've had time now to see and study the effects of LSD. People who haven't had a dose in weeks sail out on another trip. They never know when. The minute they drop one acid capsule or ingest it in any way, they bought the farm. They've lost any chance to depend on and even restore that most precious of all inner senses, judgment. And in my way of thinking, without judgment, you might as well be dead. Your brain is, so why not the rest of you?
We were talking about marijuana.
We still are. Marijuana is the flame, heroin is the fuse, LSD is the bomb. So don't you try to equate liquor with marijuana, mister, not with me. You may sell that jazz to another pothead, but not to somebody who spends most of their time holding some sick kid's head while he vomits and retches sitting on a curbstone at 4 o'clock in the morning. And when his knees get enough starch back in him so he can stand up and empty his pockets, you can bet he'll turn out a stick or two of marijuana. And you can double your money he'll be holding a sugar cube or a cap or two. So don't you con me with your mind expansion slop. I deal with kids every day. I try to clean up the mess that people like you make out of them. I'm the expert here.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, here's Mike.
Hey, Jack Webb.
Yeah.
Real tolerant.
Yeah, you know what? And a fast-talking cop.
Yeah, I love Dragnet. Live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios, this is the Mike O'Mara Show. Broadcasting all over the planet. We're powered by Encore Insurance Services. With over 22 million downloads, we're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and we're heard over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks!
Hi, Justin.
The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners in the world. Why?
Why, Mike?
Because they get it.
And they go for the hinges.
Don't forget, Wednesday is the day, TMOS 1000.
Yes.
Very, very exciting online. Our show today is brought to you by LegalZoom.
Oh, the best day.
LegalZoom.com. Let me tell you about LegalZoom. What's great about LegalZoom is if you're like me and you've had a bit of experience with lawyers.
Sure.
I think the best thing to do occasionally is to avoid them.
Yeah, if you can.
And with LegalZoom, you can do so many things without them. That's the nice thing about LegalZoom.
Without them.
The economy's picking up. There's no doubt about that. The longer you wait, the longer you delay your potential success. And I'm talking about the success in starting up your own small business,
Sure.
which is what you might want to do. Right now, you can incorporate your business or form an LLC at LegalZoom.com, and you can do it, and I am not exaggerating here, for just $99.
So great.
LegalZoom's online process guides you step by step, and you get total customer support. LegalZoom provides self-help services at your specific direction, and you can connect to an attorney, but they are not a law firm, so you have no fear.
Cool.
You're not going to be in that money grinder that you worry about. Get an extra discount when you enter TMOS in the referral box at checkout. Don't wait on the sidelines while others are taking charge of their futures with their small businesses. Now is the best time to get in the game and launch your business with LegalZoom. For incorporation, trademarks, patents, and more, just go to LegalZoom.com right now.
When?
Right now.
You know, my dad, my wife, myself, we all did our wills on LegalZoom.
Yeah,
and
wills.
It's so easy.
Doesn't just have to be small businesses. They can do it. Just like they said. Visit LegalZoom.com to save on your legal needs. You don't want to slave over your legal needs.
No, that would be the other guy.
Save.
Save,
Wow.
baby, save.
Slow down. Take a breath, Mike. Visit
you're being like Jack Webb.
LegalZoom.com to save on your legal needs. Like wills for $69, LLCs for $99 plus filing fees. You can also get access to a network of legal plan attorneys for guidance. You're not holding that kid's head when I'm sorry.
Hey, when you get enough starch in your knees, you can go to LegalZoom.com.
LegalZoom is not a law firm, but provides self-help services at your direction, so take advantage of it. Enter discount code TMOS for more savings at LegalZoom. That's discount code TMOS, and we
Nice.
thank you in advance for that. Well, hey, everybody.
Hi, happy Monday, Mike.
How was your... it's President's Day.
It is, and
Yeah.
we're here.
Yeah. Normally we do our traditional March of the Presidents, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
And I salute...
Had to open up some razors.
I salute Matt Bloom, who I think is the president of TMOS, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Absolutely.
Thank you, Matt.
Bloom.
Happy day.
Not only a member.
Valentine's Day. Pony, did you enjoy your weekend with your sugar gliders?
Oh, it was great. I got drunk and watched a lot of TV.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a
What
Valentine's
about
gin.
that to-do list for Mac?
Oh,
What about
yeah,
that?
yeah. That's actually on my to-do list.
Wow. So Oscar's to-do list involved busting your balls about your to-do
We're going to
list.
help you. Mac! Hey, Mac!
Oh, we had a pre-show
Mac,
meeting.
Pony, you just jot it down, man. Okay, we're going to help you. Sit down, Mac. How are you?
You don't have to ask him twice to sit down.
Number one intern, Mac.
There he is.
All right.
Headphones on. How was your Valentine's Day?
Uneventful.
Really? Did you pitch a little woo?
Pitch a little woo.
Right on the mic.
Wow. Mac, one of the things we were discussing the other day, you know how you come in here sometimes, and this has nothing to do with you, by the way, and you will come in and you'll kind of just stand there for a while.
Lurk.
What
Lurk
are you,
is the great word.
And what are you waiting? You're waiting for maybe somebody to tell you to do something, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing if anybody needs
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
I
So-
don't believe that for a minute. He just likes watching the fun.
No, I believe when Mac comes in here, Rob, I believe he's looking for direction. And Pony, I had a talk with Pony on Friday. I said, got to get a list. Got to put a list together of things
True
that
enough.
need to be done. Like, for example, just get up for a second.
Get
Walk
up.
around. Just get up for a
Yeah,
second,
yeah,
Matt.
yeah.
Take the headphones off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And take a walk around the studio. And do you see any? Just take a look around, and then come back to that chair, sit down, and tell me if there's anything you see that you think you could take care of. In here.
Possibly.
Possibly. Just take it.
I have
just
one
do,
at the
do the
top-
walk
off the
around.
top of
Keep
my
walking.
head,
No, all the way around.
Yeah, all the way around.
Back,
Round,
that
round.
way, that way, and back to
Yeah.
Mr. Spiewak.
It might be 60% of him looking for guidance, but at least 40% of his lurking is he's not accustomed
Take
to
a
being
look
around
around.
people.
Take a
He
look
likes to be
around.
around people.
All right, now, he surveyed the studio.
He's a pack animal.
He's looked through the
part of
studio.
it, right?
Okay. All right. So
He likes
you
to
did a
hang
little
out.
survey of the studio. Is there anything that came to mind?
The trash.
Oh, you know what? That
All
is strange.
That's
Yes.
a good call.
All right,
yeah,
so,
very astute of you.
Pony put that on the list.
And what
Yes.
about the trash?
It's full and needs to be taken out.
There you go.
And what do you do
win.
after the trash is taken out?
I don't know the answer
Pick
to
up the
that one.
hammer from the floor that's in the middle.
No,
you put a
a
bag.
new bag
Yes,
in,
yeah,
Robert
yeah,
the Third.
But that is something.
Pick up the hammer.
That's a very good man. Listen, I'm not going to put so much strain on the boy. He's got these jobs. So
And he's young and new.
we would file all that stuff, picking up the hammer, picking up strange things that are in here, like bottles on the floor or whatever, anything that's this lingering that can go out of here as studio maintenance. Pony, write down studio maintenance.
Perfect.
That works.
The
That's
old
great
once
start.
over.
Great
The old
start.
once over.
That's mine. That's my number one
Yes.
at my hit parade. Let's move on to Mr. Santana.
Well, there's always room for improvement, Mac. And if you really want to get squirrely on this, I would imagine
Squirrely is not the word.
we've been talking about starting a new feed for a potential project in the future, and you could possibly start on that.
Okay.
And
I'm
Tony knows
totally
what that
confused.
is.
I don't even know what
It's
you're
technical.
asking him to do.
It's technical.
What?
It's technical.
It's a technical
Yes.
thing? Okay,
Yes.
very good. Rob?
Okay, you see how this
That
is
was
messy?
terrible, Oscar.
You see how this is messy, the
Can all be
glass
winners.
table? A lot of times, stuff that goes off the console.
That's
goes
studio
onto the-
maintenance.
No, he talked mostly about trash.
But
what
that's
I want
what
him to
studio
do.
maintenance
Hello.
is a general umbrella.
Okay.
You're taking my idea.
Yeah, at least I had something technical.
You had nothing. What I want you to do is I want you to take a moment when you come here and meet with me and say what can be put away in the attic and stored. Because there are
wow.
things that need to be moved upstairs.
You took initially. You just took my idea.
I
Yeah,
did?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No passing notes in class.
You did. Okay. Pass the note to Oscar, please. All right.
Don't make it too small.
What
I
I
do
was,
that.
since he was doing mostly trash and things like that, I'm talking about equipment and things that need to be put in the attic. Stuff that lingers here that should not linger here.
He just read the note.
I know he did.
He just read the note.
Yeah. Now
Nobody will be able to see the note. Destroy the note.
No,
please.
swallow the note. Swallow the note.
Right.
And also, I will.
What are you
tack onto
telling
that-
him to do outside of the studio
Yeah, I
maintenance?
hear a lot of.
I hear a lot of BS
Yeah.
going.
Also, you must ask Mike O'Mara if any errands need to be run.
Yeah, as soon as you actually, that's top of the hit parade. Right
All
there.
of us might have.
No,
other
we never
things
have
to do.
errands for him.
Pony,
You're the only one that.
Pony, you're the only one that's been giving any real thought to this. Would you let? Oh no, don't. Thank you. God, I hate your. Duh.
So you're
Flat line.
throwing it to him?
I'm talking to Pony.
Boy, pony boy, won't you be
Right.
my pony boy?
Pony boy. Yes, it's Pony Boy. Right. Get up! Yeah, smoke that cigarette.
Smoke that cigarette.
Right, that's right. Fun.
Puff, and you smoke yourself to death.
Fun.
It's like 3 minutes long now.
Yeah, really.
And you know what? He still won't be ready.
Besides overall studio maintenance, anything on your list there, Pony?
Yes, organizing the copybook.
Oh,
That's today.
Hey, at
But
least
that
he
is
had
today.
something.
That's,
Well, that's something that-
no, that doesn't count. You're being too. You of all people. All right. So those are the things we need you to do.
Yeah.
You can knock
But
that out
your
in one
top
shot.
priority must be Oscar's mythical project.
I actually know what he's talking about.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you do? Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Kiss ass.
All right, and now you may anything. Anything we can do for you.
Yeah. What would you like us to do as soon as we get here?
There's nothing you can do for me.
Really? Wow, that had a tone to it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did a little bit.
Wow, that's very scary. Can you say that again?
There is nothing you can do for me.
It's very disturbing.
So true.
I've already decided what I need from you.
And I've decided what I'm going to do to you.
The next thing
All
that's going up into the attic is a femur.
Okay. Get out of here. Mac?
Come back.
Those boxes out there by the undecorated Christmas tree need to go up in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Stack them neatly.
Thank you very
What
much.
date is it? Who had the poll? Who had March?
I just had after Epiphany.
Sorry. It's technically still not down.
You're right.
It'll be down today when Rob helps me take it down.
Because I brought my tape gun.
That's good. And we're going to be all set to go. And then I think I'm probably just going to leave it down here.
The box.
What's the point of bringing it upstairs?
Exactly.
That horrible project of bringing it up that narrow ladder up into the attic.
You throw a tablecloth on that, it looks like a sofa table.
Precisely.
Oh,
Exactly.
A nice little nook.
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, really, I'm less than 2 months away.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm less than 2 months away from leaving here.
You can't even encapsulate your joy. You can't hide it.
You know, the same way you feel about that is the same way I have a calendar. Most people have one, right?
Yes.
It's up on the wall.
Right.
Thank you.
It's the clap.
What year?
So
is the calendar?
I use a color-coded calendar where I code vacations as in yellow, and if it's like a project, it's red, and whatever
Right.
you're going to use. And your leaving town is a yellow and red, so it's actually orange.
Right.
Because it's almost like it's a blessing in disguise in
Yes.
the long run because I'll have a shorter commute to work.
Right.
Sure.
But it'll be also, it'll just be kind of like we're walking on the moon again as far as the technology is concerned.
This is true. We're going to
we've
be
been
ironing
testing-
out some things. We ask our
I can't
listeners
wait.
to be understanding.
Can't
about
wait.
that.
It's always been
Be a lot
ever
of fun.
forward.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a lot of fun with it.
And incidentally, to our listeners, I hope you understand. If I had been able to save more money, I would have been able to save my home.
That's true.
But unfortunately, I was not able to save my home. And another thing is
That is called transparency.
once my restaurant went out of business.
Yes.
And the failed restaurant.
The failing restaurant?
Yes. Unfortunately, it was
If you own a failing restaurant, contact us at foodnetwork.com.
Let me just put it this way.
Right.
There was really nothing keeping me in this little entertainment mecca we call the Zit.
That's true.
There really wasn't.
That's
So
true.
I've only referenced it a couple of times, but I have to share that with you. And really, the days and days and days when I'm out on the highways and byways of this fine little town going, I hate it here.
Yeah,
I hate it here.
When
I
did
hate
you
it
really?
here."
Was there a time that you liked the DC area?
No.
Really?
Well, anytime you needed new tires, it was great.
No, I liked.
Anytime you need an empanada.
I'll tell you the things I liked. I liked the Capitals.
Yeah.
I love Memorial Day weekend here. I think
True.
it's the greatest weekend to
unparalleled.
be in Washington, D.C. It's absolutely fantastic because it's so patriotic and it's so wonderful. And when I got into motorcycling, it got even more so.
Sure.
Always loved that holiday. Then we get into the swamp-like summer, and everybody that would tell me, about the move down south would be, Florida, it's hot.
Sure
And
it
I
is.
said, have you looked at a weather map? And I would urge everybody during the teeth of the summer to look at the temperatures here in Washington, D.C., and look at the temperatures down in South Florida.
In the
and
dog days,
you'd
you
be
actually,
very surprised.
It's probably it can be a couple degrees cooler.
It's
in Florida.
tropical down there. It's hot down there. It's hot down there for a much longer period of time. But c'est la vie, that's it. And now that it's becoming a reality, it's not the nostalgia of, oh my God, I'm leaving. It's more like the sadness of how much work has to be done to get this ready to go.
A move is really hard.
Yeah, it's
It is.
so we're doing that. And anyway, so we're going to leave that Christmas tree in the box
One
right
last
down here.
yard sale?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
This yard
surprises
sales are
me.
epic.
I think that the yard sale might really be a little bit more like, hey guys, anybody want this?
Really?
Anybody want that?
Oh,
yeah.
dibs on the gong.
Yeah, so it's yours. It's yours. It's going to be fantastic. We got to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the Yuck Olympics. My God. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Everybody! I live in Manassas, baby, and I really want to get the hell out. I want to get in my car. I want to drive due south. I want to say bye-bye. Goodbye. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
That started so well.
So happy to be with all of you. How's everybody doing? This segment of the program is brought to you by our episode 1000.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Media Blitz.
Folks, believe it or not, Wednesday, February 19th, marks the 1000th episode of the Mike O'Mara Show. How about that?
That is something, isn't it?
So, we're going to use this momentous occasion to roll out a great big new listener initiative. We're calling it
Episode 1000 Media Blitz.
Here's how we're doing it. On Wednesday.
The big voice lacked enthusiasm on that.
Episode 1000 Media Blitz.
Better.
Here's what we're doing. On Wednesday, Feb 19, we need you to be a part of the
TMOS Social Media Blitz.
We should change the top of that, TMOS Social Media Blitz.
Okay.
Because that's what it's going to be.
All right.
All right? It's going to be TMOS Social Media Blitz. We'll need you to put hashtag TMOS1000 everywhere, all day. Tag us on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere on social media about the show. Tell all your connections on LinkedIn. Even resurrect that old MySpace account. No, don't do that.
Hey,
That's
couldn't hurt.
mucking up the man.
Couldn't
Can
hurt.
you ever not be Shecky when you're writing your copy?
You love Shecky.
Yes, we want to take those 24 hours and see TMOS trending everywhere. Oscar Santana, please to explain the main purpose of why we're doing this. We want to get trends everywhere.
We want to be able to for people to organically find the show again. You may know about it. We talk about this all the time.
Right.
But if somebody says TMOS 1000, they click on it and they see the conversations that are being had there, and they're like, wow, the Mike O'Mara show is still going strong.
We still meet people
Yes.
every single week. We will be out and about, and it's like, what are you guys doing now? It drives me nuts.
Sure.
Because, I do wish that I had $1 million to put a Super Bowl ad on and tell everybody where you could go to get this. And also, the world of podcasting, as it grows and becomes more successful, is still the new frontier.
It is.
And there are still many, 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 many people that don't get their entertainment that way. And those that do are, as we say, they get it. They're an exclusive club. And we want to get wide with that because this is still moving in a direction where I think ultimately this is how everybody's going to get their
Absolutely.
media. That's how they're going to get certainly their radio media. We know we can do it because we've got you guys, the greatest listeners in the world. Great because you get it. Thanks, guys, and here's to the next 1,000 shows. So it's real simple. Put hashtag TMOS1000 out there everywhere all day long on all the different platforms.
And if you're wondering, well, what do I write? Just a nice congratulations about the show, maybe your favorite moment of the program.
I love that idea.
You can
Favorite
do
moment of the past 4 or 5
anything like
years.
that. It doesn't have to be creative, or it can be. You can decide what you want to, but the most important part of the actual message is the hashtag, which is basically the pound sign.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you,
TMOS 1000 1000.
you can write listen and you'll get it.
That's good. That's
Listen
very
and
strong.
you'll get it. And you want to get it, you want to do that. So thank you in advance and for participating in the
TMOS Social Media Blitz.
Big voice.
Hungry?
Hi, Rob.
Are you tired?
No,
Big weekend?
not really.
How was your Valentine's Day?
It was just ducky. How was yours?
Did you pitch a little woo?
I pitched some woo. I pitched some serious woo.
Nice.
Woo!
Haven't seen you in a long time.
Very good. All right, so that's it. Thank you, and thank you in advance. All right, I have been putting this on my show prep sheet for the entire time the Olympics has been on.
Okay.
I wrote a couple of days. I would write, why am I not getting into it? A couple of days I wrote the Olympics, meh. And it's all coming together why this Olympics just sucks.
What's your keystone reason?
There's so many reasons, Rob. There are a combination of reasons. Number one, you got the whole Russian thing.
Right. And
what is that?
Well, Mike still thinks they're the enemy. And
I
you know what? I agree
always
with him.
believe
I
they're the
agree with
enemy.
him.
I think that they are the enemy, and they hate us. And we don't like them. I think they hate us. We don't like them. That's the way I look at that. I think that,
politics.
I watched 60 Minutes last night, and 60 Minutes profiled this guy that's, talking about how corrupt the Russian government really is.
Sure.
Did they mention the IOC?
They didn't talk about the IOC, another fabulously, allegedly corrupt organization.
Oh, most people agree, though.
But, I mean, it's truly stunning to me that, this press, even with all the games going on, you would think, the games start, we're going to forget about this. I don't forget about it. I think about Vladimir Putin. I think about the persecution of gay people in that country, but I also think about the corruption and the dollar figure that they're talking about, money spent on these Olympics. And, I think the picture I'm putting together from all the news reports that I've read is one of a very, very, very corrupt country.
Yeah.
And just a country that really doesn't like us. For example, we win the game against Russia. It was still a grudge match.
Sure.
It's the number one match. The one guys we want to beat more than anybody else.
Did you see it live?
Are the Russians. I watched it live Sunday morning.
Nice.
So, was it
Saturday
morning. And I watched it probably only the best part. I watched like maybe 1 minute in the overtime, and then I watched the shootout and it was so much fun. But that's still there because these countries don't like each other. We do not like Russia. And then to read guys like Alex Ovechkin bitching about it.
Yeah.
Alex Ovechkin, who signs his ridiculously massive paycheck on the backs of American ticket buyers.
Yep.
Screw you, Ovi. I swear to God.
That's blasphemous.
Absolutely.
How dare you.
Is it over?
Screw him.
The love affair is over?
Oh, absolutely. The love affair with the Caps has been over for the whole year. I am absolutely so done on them.
You've been back and forth.
No, this year
You're definitely out.
This year, I have not been
all out.
And you know what?
Until
And
they come back.
incidentally, by saying this right now, if they get to the playoffs, I think that I've screwed it. I don't think I'm able to come back. I don't think if they went to the run and they got to the Stanley Cup, I think what I'm saying right now is putting me out of the wheelhouse.
I don't know.
to
At
root
least
for the
you've got
Capitals.
the Penguins. You
Yeah.
can follow them.
Got the Bruins.
I've also said
Thank you.
in the past, because I've seen your Facebook posts. I'll find them when they come.
Yeah, when
online.
when I've been
You're
a
super
loyal
passionate.
fan, spent a
You'll write
lot
them
of money
off,
on
You'll write
tickets.
them off in front of thousands of people.
Yes,
and
this
then you'll
is true.
come back 2 days later. And say,
Spurned lover.
Let me ask you this:
Sorry.
since you do follow my posts,
Yes.
have you seen any posts about the Capitals this year?
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's
No.
really because I haven't watched games this year.
No.
Because when they decided that they weren't going to do anything after the playoffs last year, I said, if you're not going to try to improve, I'm not going to come back.
You
as a fan.
said that, and you know what? None of us bought it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm beginning to think he's
Haven't watched
sticking
the game.
to it.
Yeah,
but
I
they're
haven't
still-
watched the game.
They're still not doing so well.
I haven't
Everybody loves
watched
a winner.
I wouldn't know.
Bandwagon, baby.
I wouldn't know whether they were. I know. I tuned into something, a sports report the other day that said they had lost 7 in a row. This is back a few weeks back. But anyway, getting onto that, these Russian players that play for the NHL that are, talking about the fact that the American goalie cheated and all that. Getting back to the whole Olympic thing, I think you've got that issue, the underlying issue. Number two, you've got a situation where these Olympics are being held in, somebody put it to me beautifully yesterday, in what is effectively the Hawaii of Russia.
Yes.
The warmest climate in Russia is in Sochi, so there's no business having the Olympics in that particular climate because it's causing the alpine events to be completely effed up.
And dangerous.
And dangerous.
And did you see the fog this morning because of the warm air?
Yeah, it's terrible.
You couldn't see anything.
It's just not fun. Now listen, you can get warm. God knows with climate change, you can get warm weather anywhere. It can happen. But
there are colder regions in that nation. I'm told.
Yeah. Little body of land called Siberia.
they
for
got
Christ's sake.
plenty of snow.
You mentioned the Alpine. So I would say, without getting too nerdy about this, is that the venue itself, Sochi, does not allow, I think, for fair competition.
Right.
Fair, accurate performances from a lot of these athletes, and fair competition for those that weren't able to train or anticipate the different degrees of really the snow, the slush, the ice.
Yes.
This is the type of
And it's 60 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
if you're a skier and you go skiing out west and you get fresh powder for the first time, you're blown away. You're like, I didn't know it could be like this. I didn't know I could snowboard. I didn't know I could ski like this. And if you come out east and up as maybe 4 years ago, you'd go and hit one of the local resorts here. You'd have ice. Because it was fake snow,
Right.
And it wasn't the best skiing
And
conditions.
they'd
So
be
it's very
building on
difficult.
it for all
It's very
years.
difficult to have these conditions. Throw in the fact that down below where all the venues are, it's balmy out. They're walking around in shirts. So that kind of sucks. Then you get so you get corruption with Russia and the whole attitude of Russia to us. The fact that they padded the pockets of their elite society members. You might say, well, we have those too. Yeah, but there are a lot more people doing a lot better in this country than there are in
How about
Russia.
Salt Lake was a great venue for the Winter Olympics?
I mean, it was a winter destination. That's where you have an Olympics.
Lake Placid.
So then you throw in the fact that you've got the corruption, then you've got the climate. Now let's throw in the third piece of the puzzle, at least for me.
What is it?
Which is the television coverage.
Right.
Which yesterday I sit down with my daughter and I'm like, what a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon. I will watch some Olympic events. So
dancing.
I went between the this is during the day.
Okay.
I went between the regular network feed and then they have, I think it was CNBC that had another feed, or maybe MSNBC.
I think both CNBC and MSNBC have stuff.
But I had the two channel. I went between the two, and what I watched was cross country skiing.
Oh, that's exciting.
And curling. And I will tell you something, man. Between that, then finally, I think it was maybe, I don't know if it was, I think it was either in the afternoon or it was the evening. I'm sure I watch a lot of Olympics because I want to love it.
Yeah.
And they have the women's snowboarding competition, which was, I don't know, they've got all the different things. The downhill, the half pipe.
Was this the one where they had several people on the course at once?
Initially, they had singles qualifying, and then they were going to have the
Because it's
race down
crazy
there.
when they have that
Absolutely
race of 4.
delightful. Could have watched it for 8 hours in a row.
Right.
Fantastic competition. And a young lady comes down. I think her name was Hernandez, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
She came down and had a terrible fall, and she was lying at the bottom, lifeless. Really, the look was, oh, my God, did she break her neck? What happened there? And it's already happened, and NBC knows it's already happened. They know the results, and they still chose to say, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back.
Oh, that is
And
spot break.
I
Classless.
didn't know what was. It was terrible. It was terrible.
My God.
And then the other thing about NBC, I could spend an hour talking about what the problems are with that. But I'll come back and tell you the other problems with this disjointed coverage that's all over the map. There's no sense of time.
Well, it has to do with Bob's eye.
It's that's another thing. We'll take a break. Come back with more Olympic talk right after this.
Sand in the rain, bullfrog, doing it again.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This portion of our show is brought to you by our friends at Encore. It's a new year, and if you're out there shopping insurance, it's hard to know which company offers the best value. Encore Insurance is there to help. Encore will survey the most highly rated companies in the insurance industry to compare premiums. Popular internet disc jockey Oscar Santana uses Encore. You can, too.
Yes.
Just call toll-free, 866-347-5748. That number, again, is 866-347-5748. And I want you to do me a big favor. I ask this often because they are with us all year long.
Yes.
Encore Insurance Service is one of the biggest supporters of the Mike O'Mara Show. Please, if you're even contemplating getting some life insurance, give them a call. There's no obligation at all. And most importantly, no salesman will call on you. So you don't have to worry about that. If you prefer computers, visit smartterm.com. That's SMARTTERM.com.
You get a real person. Basically, what I felt like it was a concierge.
Right.
And they walk you through all your different options, and it's really not a sales pitch. It's more of assisting you through the process. See, these are my options.
And
Please
it will
do
help you save money.
Yeah.
Go to smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748 for Encore. Getting back to the Olympics, I've just been wondering why it's not. I know that in years past I've really tracked with it. There's like a real order of things. You know what's coming up. This NBC delivery of information is just throwing different crap up at different times to see what sticks to the wall.
Right.
And I'm not getting any sense of time. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense.
One, it's in a different time zone, so it's tough to get excited because
That's
you don't
happened before, though.
But that in itself, there's a school of thought out there as well that in the early 2000s, and if you're new to the Olympics, maybe you weren't into them before, you would have the Summer and Winter Olympics in the same year.
Right.
So it'd be a year of fun and Olympic fever where you knew you'd have the winter and then you'd have the summer or
and
summer
now
and
they're,
then winter.
They're staggered every other year.
Yeah, so they go
time,
every
right?
two years, you'll get a summer and then you get a winter. When you had those fun blockbuster years of winter and summer,
right,
you felt like it meant more, at least to me, where I knew that athletes going from the, say, summer to winter or winter to summer, that it was a whole year of just fun, whether it was McDonald's with their Olympic Games,
right,
to see what medals different kind of events got,
right,
or you just saw these profiles of these athletes.
So you're not into it as much either.
No, because it changed the format, and I couldn't see why. I said, I know that it's a different time zone. I can get over that.
Right.
I think it's really disingenuous to the sport where you have, like I said before, you have this climate that really doesn't allow these top performers to perform at their optimal,
I agree,
level.
I mean, they should be able to. I mean, anywhere you choose to hold a Winter Olympics, you ought to have optimal conditions, at least up in the mountains.
It's the Olympics.
I saw the performance yesterday, and what I saw was basically these top-tier athletes slowing down.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't crash
They have
or
to
get
hold
off
back,
the course.
yeah.
And I said,
Exactly.
slowing down?
Yes.
You're supposed to go 80 miles an hour so I can see that on TV.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And, and really, it just is so frustrating.
And to speak to the broadcast, when you talk about the way NBC is covering it, I think one of the problems is the fact that they are feeding 2 or 3 and sometimes 4 broadcast outlets.
That sucks, too.
It waters the
Put
product.
it on Channel 4.
Right. And the other thing is, and this is all sports are going in this direction, They started writing the storylines of this Olympic game
Great, Rob. Absolutely. I
months
totally
before
agree
the
with
game
you.
started.
I was thinking about that today.
And it's time. There are times when that works, and a nod to
Right.
the great Jim Nance,
Yep.
who has a story going in to every football game.
Yep.
But that's not the Olympics, because the Olympics have to happen organically.
Let me tell you that. I'm so glad you brought that up. I would have forgotten it. I said something to my wife about that I feel manipulated more than I ever have before. Now, they've always had the profile of the athlete,
Sure.
the story, but they are so committed to these storylines that you feel as though the results aren't, like, for example,
Oh, yeah.
they had a guy yesterday in the Super G with Bodie Miller, and here I go. I know Bodie Miller,
of course,
but I don't know the guy that won the silver medal.
No, but you
for
know
the United
Bodie.
States. But you know Bodie because Bodie's got the story. Bodie lost his brother. Bodie has his supermodel
Olympian.
wife that's down there. And the fact is that was their narrative.
That's right. It's like, you know what? It's like you have to watch an episode of the Gilmore Girls before the episode starts. Did you see when they actually? And I think my buddy Scott on Facebook called it emotional vulturing.
Yeah.
When they made him cry.
Yeah.
And can I play you the tape of it?
Sure.
Because it really is sickening.
I don't know what the name of the interviewer is.
I do.
that
It's
did this.
Kristen Cooper.
Listen to what, Oscar, if you didn't get a chance to see this, listen to what this lady does, because
There's 4 consecutive questions hell bent on making Bodie Miller cry.
they so love the narrative of
I know that
this-
his brother just
this
passed.
tragically that he lost his brother due to a seizure because his brother had a previous head injury, and just a gut-wrenching story. But NBC, that's what they live for. They want to get this out of
And
these
that
people, and because they don't think that the sport is enough, and that pisses me off.
And
too.
that organic story, if it had happened organically,
right,
and it had been something that perhaps Bodie brought up,
right,
it would have been
Right.
a wonderful tribute to his brother.
How much culpability do you think that the athletes have in feeding into that? Much like a contestant on American Idol now. The actual
do you think
talent,
that- do you
hold
mean-
on. The actual talent,
Yeah.
the actual athletic ability is not enough anymore for Americans.
Well, no, they need to have a
we're
story.
a tabloid society
Yeah.
now. We can't handle that. We can't just handle the fact that somebody's fantastic at what they do. We have to have the superstar or the backstory.
Well,
and it's
before
just
Bodie Miller
gone.
does his thing, and they have a package of him that involves glamour shots and studio promo shots and things of him. That stuff doesn't just happen.
Right.
He has been part of the
Months
NBC
in
Olympic
advance.
machine
Yes.
half a year in advance.
Right, right.
So, yeah, to answer to what you said, yeah, he's been playing the game for a long time.
Now, and
he
at the,
has to.
And at the end, with the post match or whatever they want to call it, the run interview when they crown the guy from Norway, I believe, that won the
that's right.
gold, and then the no name American. Did we get the name of the American that won the Super G? That got the silver medal.
let me
in
get
the
that. I
Super
apologize.
G. But this interviewer, who is catching legitimately so a tremendous amount of flack, but I really think when you're picking on the interviewer, this is the way she's trained to do it.
Oh, and
this
you know
is
there's
what
someone.
they want.
I guarantee you, there's someone yelling in her ear to do it.
It was distasteful.
Here's
Listen to it.
NBC's Kristen Cooper and Bodie Miller on the Olympics.
This was a little different. I think, my brother passing away, I really wanted to come back here and race, the way he sensed it. So this was a little different.
I know you wanted to be here with Chile really experiencing these games, and how much does it mean to you to come up with a great performance for him, and was it for him?
I don't know if it's really for him, but I wanted to come here and I don't know, I guess make myself proud, but...
Bam! Right there, enough said. He's thinking about his
Jerks.
brother.
Yep.
Leave him alone
Bunch
right
of
now.
jerks.
Right there, that's enough for me. I mean, I thought
But
that was
wait.
touching, but no, she ain't having it. She ain't having it. This is
as
what
they
she
say,
is.
Mike. But wait, there's more.
When you're looking up in the sky at the start, we see you there, and it just looks like you're talking to somebody. What's going on there?
Sorry. And then she puts her hand on his shoulder and says, "Sorry."
Lady.
The loss of his brother Chili to a seizure last April, that
did not
emotion
see
that
this.
he has been carrying with him since continues to flow out.
Sickening.
Really?
That's disgusting.
National Broadcasting Company, Comcast, whatever giant media conglomerate with your tentacles wrapped around everything now. How stupid do you think the American people are? I mean, really, like, we can't figure it out. when he gets a little choked up. I like a good emotional story.
Sure.
I don't need to have it force-fed to me like, stuffing a goose, with feed to make its liver fatten.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And the whole narrative of these stories, I am completely, I think the best way to describe I'm a very passionate Olympic viewer. I love watching it. I'm lost. I'm completely lost. And I feel like the only story I'm really going to get out of I'm not going to figure it out myself. I'm going to have it force-fed to me. And that is really a drag. It's very sad. It's bumming me out.
Andrew Weibrecht, silver medal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
And
Andrew.
this guy came from nowhere to win the silver. And it's look, if you don't like the Olympic downhill or the Super G or the giant slalom, you probably shouldn't be watching the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then the snowboard competition, which I don't even know what it's called because it's so new to me, but it is fabulous.
When I saw those
competition.
4 guys on the same course at the same time, it looked
Absolutely
like a
great.
video game.
It's really fantastic to watch.
My question to Carrie is, should all those guys be out there at once? Has there been a mistake, a scheduling mix-up?
And you know what? That's all you need, NBC.
You're right.
I don't need you. Show me the good
Speed.
stuff.
Show you speed.
But when they have to tweak it up is, when they're discussing the curling competition.
This is what I was looking for before when you guys were breaking everything down. Remember Dan and Dave Johnson? When they had in 1992, they had this lead up. Nike had this lead up. It was Dan versus Dave for the Summer Olympics.
Yes, yeah, I do remember that.
And one of the guys failed to qualify for the Olympics after they spent millions of dollars building this up.
Right.
So what's happening now is it's a hyper kind of machine compared to that, where you had all these months leading up to this competition that never happened.
Right.
And so you're counting your eggs before they hatch.
Absolutely, because the narrative has already been done and written, and it's like stories. They're
now
telling stories.
they're telling stories at a hyper level where
Right.
if Shaun White doesn't win,
Right.
it's because A, B, and C. But they don't set up for him. They set up for him not to win. They set up for him to win something.
Yes.
Before he even wins anything.
And then it's all shot to hell.
Yes.
And the thing is, not only is that tough for the viewers because we're manipulated, but it is extremely tough on the athletes because it's a competition.
Can you even
and
imagine?
anything can happen really in sports. You can't fix it. I know if NBC could,
they would.
fix it.
They
They'd
would.
fix the narrative for everybody, but it can't
But
happen.
can you imagine the additional pressure when you get these kids out there, they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and they've been spending their entire life that they've been aware of life. They've been working for this one moment. And if you lose or you don't do your very best or you let yourself down, it's got to be the most crippling loss of your life.
You don't need any help.
And then you get the help of NBC saying, well, it was certainly they expected a lot more from this
She's
one.
done it again.
Yeah.
And it's really
Those poor kids.
Look,
I see
it's
that.
just this big. I just feel like it's all kind of fake. That's the word that
They showbizzed it.
It's kind
Well,
of
this year more than
preordained,
ever.
and it's just you get the people. I think I heard a statistic that Shaun White, the industry of snowboarding, of that type of competition,
Sure.
the competitors
well,
that
he's
are
part of the 1%.
he
there.
takes 60% of all the money that goes into that sport. 60 makes $15 million a year.
And most
Shaun
of that
White
goes
does.
for hair care.
And they're bitching about him, and I don't know whether
Well, he
this
put
is
the
sour
sport. He
grapes
really
or not.
helped put the sport on the
He
map.
Put
invented
the
the
sport on
sport,
the map,
yeah.
but they talk about the fact that once he did that, the guy's, as far as a snowboarder is concerned, he's like a grandfather now.
Yeah.
as far
At
as his
28.
age. And it's very, very strange, but that's he caught the imagination. Apollo Ono, the great name. I
Yep.
mean,
Still
I
on
would,
the Subway commercials.
Yeah.
you would think that really at a
Dashing,
certain
really.
point, this whole thing is if you know how to play the system, your athletic ability, you knock out one win, and you play it right, you're going to be you're golden for the rest
Look
of your
at
life.
Bruce Jenner.
Exactly.
Oh, do I have to? God.
She is. She is unquestionably a very, very special young lady.
I had this in my entertainment report that the Kardashians re-up for apparently more than a $40 million deal because their deal was just up.
Right.
And there was rumors about Jenner leaving the show because they were divorced.
Right.
And he's still going to be on, apparently. He's still on. That money train doesn't stop.
Listen, with all the speculation on Bruce Jenner,
And there is plenty.
and great comedians all over this fine country of ours are having a field day with Bruce Jenner, and I love every minute of it. It's so much fun to watch. You seriously could have Bruce Jenner lap all of the Kardashians. If he left that family completely and did his own, it's Bruce.
With an exclamation point.
It's Bruce
Just
would
him
be fantastic.
flying helicopters.
I love seeing pictures of his new face, his newest face.
Right.
And it looks like the old tests of people in the G-force machines. When they would spin and the flesh in their face would actually pull back. And that's the way his face, you know what he looks like? He looks like an old guy that you would say, you know what? You look a little like Bruce Jenner.
But he made his fortune off the
So to
Olympics.
wrap this whole thing up with the
Wheaties.
Olympics, I'm not blaming the people. I'm not blaming the athletes because they're over there.
You can't
blame the athletes for this, but the coverage has been insane, and I somehow feel, in the large scheme of things, I just feel totally played. Maybe that's a combination of the time delay where you're not getting things when they happen. Maybe it's the backstories that are all set up and all that. It just gets frustrating. Then you get a moment. That's why when you get a moment, like the Olympic hockey team playing Russia,
it's even more special
which
nowadays,
has been, that narrative was written in 1980, and maybe before that, when we had years and years and years of the dominant Soviet Union. But you still realize those guys out on the ice are getting it done. They're trying to beat each other's brains out. They both want to beat each other's brains out, and it's real athletic competition. And I think that's why that resonates so much with everybody.
Do you have anything in the news about NBC and Starbucks?
No.
I want to tell you this story because if you have any doubt that NBC is nothing more than a big profit-making machine over there, and I mean an industry that has landed in Russia, they found out there is no Starbucks in the town of Sochi. The closest one is about 500 miles away.
Wow.
So they couldn't have an official Starbucks there because Starbucks is not an Olympic sponsor. So what they did is they found some sort of loophole in the agreement that says you can bring other people to aid in your production. They flew in for NBC only. I think they've got 2,400 employees over there. But on the NBC compound, they flew in secretly a Starbucks.
Oh, that is so scummy.
They flew in a
so
Starbucks,
scummy.
and they flew in baristas, and they flew in equipment, and there is a Starbucks on the NBC compound only for NBC. And if you think there isn't a lot of money and a whole bunch of rich people dancing around over there, when you fly in a business for 2 weeks,
Yeah, I know.
you got yourself some cash, folks.
So I'm still going to watch it. I still love the actual competition.
The hockey,
And,
the highlight, though.
The hockey over the weekend was that real pure moment that you have, and I think they hopefully will continue to give us some great moments because I bleed red, white, and blue when it comes to that. It's so much fun to watch. It really is, and I still think of the Russians as the enemy.
You've come out against curling today, and
curling
is a silly sport. But I just have to.
I watched it over the cross country skiing.
Have you seen? Well, cross country skiing is nothing. It's a test pattern.
Well,
they might as well put an Indian in the middle.
And
of
of course,
screen.
it represents, Rob, to you and me, a personal threat.
It does.
The men are so incredibly well conditioned.
They
It
are.
is truly a personal. I don't think I've ever seen a greater endurance than in those athletes. That see, I did watch the cross country.
But I'm threatened.
So that's it. But I watched curling as well.
I'm threatened by the broom guys in curling. They seem very fit. I could probably be the guy that does the
Well, the
release.
best part of curling, and I watched a good chunk of it yesterday. The best part of the curling is when they have to get the broom guys to go faster, and the guy from the American team, instead of you can't hear a specific command. You just hear him go.
There is a great viral video. Have you seen it of cat curling, where they've superimposed cats over the stones perfectly? And the guy, we're at the local cat curling competition, and they run up, and it's just the cat sliding on ice. It's wonderful.
That's fantastic. So everything I said about NBC. Listen, that's fine. It's just my opinion, and I really I don't want to take away from the fact that I admire the people that dedicate their lives to these
Athletes,
different, these different endeavors because really it's fun to watch. And man, a downhill skier, those guys, oh wow! I mean, they're just phenomenal athletes, great athletes, and great athletes. The snowboarders, amazing, especially the ladies snowboarders, just blow me away with their courage and the way they're doing that. But NBC, Stop assuming we're all such idiots.
True enough.
How about really just letting it happen a little bit more and, just let us experience it, but they can't do that.
Well,
And
they
my
love
God.
idiots over there. They keep Al Roker around.
God, so many people outside of the athletes that they're feeding that great economic engine over there that is NBC, and it's making me want to barf. Anyway, we'll take a break and come back with news you may not need right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our show is brought to you by the Mike O'Mara Show Amazon page. Truly the best way to buy anything and everything you need. Why fight the cold weather and the rude people at your local shopping mall when you can just go through our Amazon link for all your shopping and stay warm and happy?
True story. Do you know what Horny Bob Spiewak bought on Amazon?
What did he get?
A curling stone.
Curling stone?
He wanted one for his for the hearth of his fireplace because he said those things are great. I want one.
They're beautiful stones.
He has one.
Are they granite or something like that?
I don't know. It just looks like an 8,000-pound tea kettle.
Get it on Amazon. You can get anything there. I
He
should have
has
bought
it.
my razor blades on Amazon. MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. That's the way to go. Today and every day, a great way to save money and support the show. Remember, click Amazon at MikeO'MaraShow.com and don't be afraid to bookmark it.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need, a comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, News You May Not Need.
The latest blast of snow to hit New England dumped more than a foot in parts of Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, you have people up there.
Yes, I do, and Mom's nice and safe in the home. Sorry. And
Snug as a bug in a home.
It packed some heavy winds, too, so Mom, on the way to the cafeteria, don't get blown over.
That's right. Hey, you know what? At least you don't have to have that guy shovel or walk anymore.
Exactly. What's his name? God, oh my God, I blanked his name. Tommy Hunter. Not Tommy Hunter. Oh, my God.
Chad Ram.
Not Chad Ram.
No.
Oh, my God, I've forgotten his name.
What
He was
was
so
his
helpful to
name?
my... I'll get it somewhere.
Mike Friedman.
No, it was not Mike Friedman.
Mike Friedman, engineer? He used to be an engineer at WJFK. Weird name.
Oh, my
To pull.
God.
Tiny
guy. Oh. Coastal areas in Maine and south of Boston appeared to get the worst of the storm overnight. In Massachusetts, 15 inches of snow was reported in Sandwich. That's down on that little finger called Cape Cod.
Oh, finger sandwiches.
That little finger sandwiches. 10 inches were reported in New Bedford and Plymouth. But they didn't have any report of Gloucester. It's always Gloucester.
You know what I heard, Mike? I heard the snow was wicked bad.
Wicked bad. Tough winter up there. Tough winter everywhere.
Everywhere.
A verdict in the city of Jacksonville is again raising the issue of self-defense and race in the state of Florida. 7 months after George Zimmerman was acquitted in the shooting of a black teenager, Trayvon Martin, Michael Dunn, have you seen this douche?
Yes.
Have you seen this personification of evil?
Mm-hmm.
He is a white 47-year-old software developer. Now, when I hear software developer, I think that the guy might be smart, but he sure didn't look very smart on the stand when he was testifying.
He didn't seem to be.
He could face 60 years in prison following his conviction on Saturday. Multiple counts of attempted murder for shooting into a car full of teenagers outside a Jacksonville convenience store. Jordan Davis was 17 years old. He was killed in the shooting. But I just can't get my head around how the jury could not reach a verdict on first-degree murder. You take a gun out, you fire 10 shots into a car where you know there are people, one person gets killed, which was your intent, and they don't find him guilty of first-degree murder.
Mike, the word "does" part of the state's name.
A mistrial was declared on that count. He could face 60 years. We'll see how much time he gets. I hope he gets at least 50.
He was convicted on most counts.
On the attempted murder charge.
But
I just
still.
don't. How do you get the mistrial if the kid dies and you're firing rounds into the car? I don't. Was it intent? Did they not, beyond a shadow of a doubt, know that there was intent to kill?
I can't imagine.
Very strange. As the number of people who use and fatally overdose on heroin has skyrocketed in recent years, authorities are seeing the return of an alarming development. Heroin, that often unbeknownst to the user, is spiked with fentanyl. Now, I didn't know about this. Obviously, Philip Seymour Hoffman and all the press that's getting has renewed the spotlight, put it on heroin. Fentanyl is a narcotic that is typically administered to people in chronic pain, including end-stage cancer patients, and it is also used as an anesthetic. It is considered, get ready for this, 80 times more powerful than morphine, and it can kill by inhibiting breathing. The dealers push this as being a super high, which it is, but it's also lethal. So a lot of this is out on the
So
street.
it's not being used to cut the drug; it's being used to make the drug more exciting for the purchaser.
Yeah, they say it's like a super high.
But in Hoffman's, as far as he's concerned, they didn't have. There was no fentanyl, and they thought there may have been, but
Right.
there was not.
Okay.
Yep. Users typically don't know how much fentanyl is mixed in, and just a small amount can be fatal because the drug is so potent. So if you know anybody that's dabbling in that world, please give them a nice warning, will you please?
Yes.
After a quick start, NBC's ratings for the Sochi Olympics are fading.
Good.
Saturday night's primetime telecast was seen by 17.1 million viewers, the smallest audience so far, and smaller than any night of the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. The Saturday telecast opened with the compelling story of the U.S.-Russia hockey game, but things quickly went downhill, and there were few notable performances by Americans to keep home team fans interested. I'm wondering, I'm probably guilty. I'm probably guilty if there's not an American in the hunt. I'm really not paying attention.
Any nation probably feel that way.
The comparable Saturday in Vancouver had 26.7 million viewers, and the Turin Games in 2006 had 19.7 million. The hockey game on NBC Sports Network was seen by an average of 4.1 million people because they didn't put it on the regular network.
Precisely.
Jesus, I swear.
I was shocked. You know where I saw it? Online.
Yeah.
I had to find it online.
You had to but here's the point. You had to find it.
Yes.
You had to find it. That's why it's 4.1 million people. I mean, they are just all over the place, and we'll see what happens.
But they did carry It's Academic.
Yes, that's right. And what's the lazy show?
Oh, Lazy Town.
Lazy Town.
Lazy Town was on. Come on.
The harrowing drama, 12 Years a Slave, won the Best Film Award at Britain's top movie honors on Sunday, cementing its status as a favorite for the Oscars next month, and rightly so, in my opinion. It was the space thriller Gravity that claimed the biggest trophy haul. 12 Years a Slave, by British director Steve McQueen, with Hollywood's Brad Pitt as producer, had been tipped as the night's major winner, and also won Best Actor for Chiwetel Ejiofor as a man tricked and sold into slavery in the pre-Civil War United States. But Gravity, with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, took home 6 prizes from its 11 nominations, including Best Director and cinematography and awards like that. So, congratulations to them.
3 years to film Gravity.
Yeah.
It took 3 years.
Pretty great movie.
Wow, did it take that long?
Yeah. If you look at the technology behind it, they had a special piece with Sandra Bullock, and they showed you behind the scenes. And you look at how they did this, how they made her look like she was really in space. And it's like, you know that the technology exists, but you're still blown away.
It is. Look up 4K awards, Oscar.
Okay.
Because Gravity took home 4K awards, and then maybe put in Cosmos next to the 4K awards.
Is your tuxedo clean?
Thank you. A 40-year-old Arizona man named Joseph DeKinnip stole a car last month and got thrown in jail about 60 miles south of Phoenix. He supposedly he kept telling the other inmates how heartbreaking it was to be away from his girlfriend for so long. So on Valentine's Day, he decided to do something about it. Police say Joseph scaled a 12-foot fence, crawled through razor wire, climbed over a second fence with more razor wire on it, then walked 10 miles, all so he could meet his girlfriend for dinner at the Gallopin' Goose Saloon and Grill.
It's a great place.
Worth every single mile, in my opinion.
You know, you can truly tell he's not married to her, because if it was his wife, he'd be breaking back in.
Exactly. Unfortunately for Joseph, police were searching for him at that point, and they showed up a few minutes after his girlfriend got there.
How unfortunate.
Guess he didn't get the special at the Gallopin' Goose Saloon and Grill.
He shouldn't have left his phone number for the reservation. That was the problem.
It's not clear if the two were planning to run off together or just have Valentine's dinner, but because of all that razor wire, Joseph ended up needing a doctor.
Oh, no.
So sad.
Oh,
then they brought him straight back to prison. And since he tried to escape, he'll be in jail and away from his girlfriend even longer now. Doesn't that suck?
That's a drag.
That's tough. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for each and every one of you, a little something, something.
Nice.
Earlier this month, a woman in England went snooping through photos on her boyfriend's old phone.
Ah.
We don't know if she was looking for signs of him cheating or something like that.
True.
But she definitely wasn't expecting this. She found photos of her 19-year-old boyfriend, Wayne Bryson, having sex with her dog.
Oh, no. No one likes when they get cheated on.
Yes, sirree. Isn't that special, huh? Where's my dog?
Where's your dog?
Oh. Thank you.
The dog doesn't appear to like it.
Peanut butter.
Stop it. Stop it.
Peanut butter. He'd apparently taken photos of himself getting it on with her Staffordshire Bull Terrier last month.
Oh, dear.
Thank you.
Oh.
And he didn't think to delete them.
No, you might want to do that next time, pal.
Gotta love those British. She called the cops, and Wayne was arrested for having sex with an animal, and also for he had some drugs on him also. The cops found those on him when he was arrested. He's looking at a maximum of 2 years in prison.
Really?
Yeah. The good news, ladies, he's back on the market.
Wow. Yeah.
Match.com.
Well,
Tinder.
he got 2 years, but that's 14 years to the dog.
Exactly. Anyway, that Gravity won those 4K awards.
I found it.
And there's also a little documentary that won.
Space, Unraveling the Cosmos.
Narrated by Mike O'Mara with assistance from Rob Spiewak.
Great credits. I love the credits on that movie.
Yes.
3Net.
Yes. Yeah, we won an award. Pretty cool. Very, very cool.
Like
Certainly never won I won one radio award, but who cares?
Better than an Air Award, Jesus.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay $250 to get this one.
If I don't pat myself on the back, nobody's going to do it. We'll take a break, come back with Rob Spiewak and the Magic Audio Vault right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Won't you pardon me, pretty woman? I couldn't help but see.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, are you part of the procrastination? Never fear, folks. It's not too late to jump on the 2014 bonus show bandwagon.
Bandwagon, baby.
Order now, and you'll get all of the 2014 shows, plus on-demand video access to each show and unlimited access to the entire anthology. That's every bonus show since we started. At $69.99, you save over 25%. We also have monthly packages, and as always, you can still buy each episode a la carte.
That's actually French. It means of the cart.
Check out all the details at MikeO'MaraShow.com and choose the one that's right for you. Just click the bonus show banner. Remember, order right now.
When?
Right now. And you won't miss a single second of the bonus fun, the 2014 bonus package. 5 hours a week just ain't enough, people. We thank you in advance. Let's open up our lovely audio vault for today. Is this already Feb 16?
17.
17?
17.
Jesus.
And may I take a moment to offer a brief word, but a sincere word of condolences to the family and loved ones of Ann Alberts, who was a tremendous supporter of this show and previous incarnations going way back. I think we all had the pleasure of meeting her and interacting with her online.
Beautiful lady.
Wonderful lady. And there wasn't a moment that she never left me not smiling and not laughing. And I know very few details except for the fact that she passed over the weekend. And
very sudden, I guess, because there were a lot of people that were thrown for a loop by this. And it also shows our wonderful world of social media now that this was a lady that touched a tremendous amount of people that had never met her face to face. She did that through social media because she was so funny and she was so witty and she was so smart.
Yes.
And she was a very, very big fan of this show. And we were proud to have her as a fan of this show because she was such a sharp, wonderful, tremendous sense of humor and a really special lady. And so many people only knew her through Facebook.
Yeah.
And it just amazes me when that happens that this is quite a little community that we're a part of.
Wonderful
and
community,
we're really glad to be a part of it. Just great people out there, and Ann Alberts was one of them. So don't know much about her family, don't know the details about her family, but I said yesterday, Carl and I send our prayers out to her family because nobody knows the circumstances, and, nobody cares because it doesn't matter when somebody that special is gone, and we wish her, speedy, safe home, and her family probably going through a pretty tough time right now. We wish them the best at the Mike O'Mara Show because she was just a very, very fun and wonderful lady.
And to her boyfriend as well, who is another big supporter of the show, and the world is a little less happy today. So
safe home, Ann. Ann Alberts, great fan of the show and really a terrific lady. Thanks for mentioning that, Rob.
All right, as we say, let us turn the page. This is a musical game, Mike. There's a wonderful group called Postmodern Jukebox.
Okay.
And what they do is they take songs that you're familiar with in one area of music, one sort of genre of music, and record them in a different way.
Okay.
This is a genre of music that I think you'll enjoy. They call it New Orleans Jazz. See if you can recognize this song as
what's that type of music you say?
New Orleans Jazz.
New Orleans Jazz.
See if you can recognize this song when it is performed in the style of the jazz of the city of New Orleans. Oscar, you can play too.
Now and then I see her face.
Oscar's on it. Great voice, great performance. The song you're looking for, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine.
Have no clue. What a great vocalist.
I I'd listen to this.
This is great.
This is terrific.
And they've done more than this, so if you get a chance, check them out online. Postmodern Jukebox, always a joy.
Oh, what a great singer.
I think they're the same ones that did some Britney Spears songs like 50s Doo-Wop.
Oh, that'd be so much fun to listen to.
Pretty cool. Now, Mike, do you still take your news when you go to a network newscast?
Yes.
You still follow Leon Bibb in Cleveland, don't you?
I'm a big fan of all the Bibbs.
The Bibster?
Right.
The man of
I
Bibb.
especially enjoyed the bib we had on Michael the other day when he was spitting out his sweet potatoes.
By the way, not to derail here, but
Yes.
how's he doing with solid food?
Oh, he'd rather, this is the great look today. This is for the Ustreamers right now. I'm not exaggerating.
Okay.
This was this morning. Okay, he gets a little
bite.
And you see him curl his tongue because he's doing everything in his. He is not going to swallow it. He's going to keep. He's a smart little guy. God, I love this kid. He's keeping it right down there, and it's going to stay in there for a while, but it's coming out at a certain point. But then today it was we didn't have the bib on him, and today he had sweet potatoes. It was like this.
Oh,
the shudder!
He did the shudder.
He did the shudder. God love him.
You know what? You must
he's such a great
videotape
kid.
until you capture a shudder.
Okay.
We have a couple of Julia that are fantastic. She was not a big solid food aficionado.
I'll get a really great video of him eating because it is. You just, you don't get frustrated. A kid's going to eat when he eats.
No, it's
but
great.
It's so much fun to watch him because he is trying new stuff that he's never had in his mouth before, and he's used to the teat.
Yeah, he's tried everything.
That's all he's used to.
Squash, peas. He's also had a lovely ribeye. All right, back to
gums to chew.
Back to Leon Bibb of Cleveland.
Yes.
Great Freudian slip when he's talking about Valentine's Day, okay?
And if you're making last-minute dinner plans, you may have a hard time getting in some of the titties in some of the city's top spots.
Oh, he did not say cities.
Jeez.
Play it again. It's Leon Bibb, Mike. The Bibber.
And if you're making last-minute dinner plans, you may have
And
a
also,
hard time
how
getting...
about his DJ delivery? If you're having
Leon Bibb.
Leon Bibb. He looks like he may have been at the station a while.
And if you're making last-minute dinner plans, you may have a hard time getting in some of the titties in some of the city's top spots.
You might have a hard time.
She'll be disappointed.
How about those cities?
Now,
She got some big cities.
Yeah, I love the big cities.
Man, those big old cities.
You know what? I love to see urban renewal in some of those cities. Now, do you remember we talked, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, about a drive? I can't believe you called 911 for that. And essentially, it's the worst 911 calls. This is a pretty good one. This one involves outerwear, Mike.
911, police, fire, medical.
Yeah, we got a problem here. My wife is struggling in her jacket, can't get it off.
She's struggling in her
jacket. I want a 911 up here immediately.
Okay, is she not breathing, or?
She's all right. She just can't get her jacket off.
She can't get her
And
jacket
then
off.
he's yelling at the operator.
Of course. Well, she's probably a little warm.
That man sounds medicated.
She can't get her jacket off. And you won't get any older and you won't ever.
He had a hard time getting into some of the cities that night with that jacket on
those
there.
big old cities.
I got a lot of calls from Pony all weekend long. He's saying, Rob. And I said, yes, but he said, please, can you find out for me, what does it sound like when Charles Barkley does karaoke? I said, I'll look into it. And then
Okay.
the phone would ring again. He just really wanted it.
Get me that Charles Barkley karaoke.
What happened is Barkley is in New Orleans, the previously mentioned New Orleans, for the NBA All-Star game, and he found himself at a bar, and he sang Gin and Juice. Just not very well.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Scoop Double G, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with a like every single day. Take a little something for the G's to make a few.
What's the old phrase, Mike? Got to beat like a cop? Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Got some in the living room. Getting it on. They ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what? Got pocket full of rubber.
You can blow it up anytime.
Jesus Christ. Kind of like watching a train wreck.
He plays by his own rules.
He does.
He really does.
Who does not love Sir Charles, great American?
And then after he finished singing, he said,
And if you're making last-minute dinner plans, you may have a hard time getting in some of the titties in some of the city's top spots.
Okay.
I love that.
Some great quotes from Olympic coverage over the weekend about Corey Butner.
Corey Butner
can sometimes be stupid fast.
Also, you know what? Did you watch any of the ice dancing? You have to admit it's fabulous.
A little bit, yes.
Mrs. Spiewak loves the ice
Does
dancing.
she now?
And she said, "Come here, come here, come here, come here. Look at," and I, that's fine.
You're right.
Mike, let's talk Twizzles.
Here's a look at the Twizzles and good unison in those Twizzles. And what you want to watch when we look at these Twizzles is how in sync they are.
Let me ask you a question.
Airy, it's supposed to be like...
Are you filing suit?
I'm not.
I mean, how dare they steal the idea you had for your a cappella band at VCU?
Oh, the Twizzles?
The Twizzles.
We had a medium charting record in 1992. That is your Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
Rob Spiewak and the Twizzles.
The Twizzles. I was not out front. It was just the Twizzles.
Yeah, it was the Twizzles.
But you were the main star.
And
someone had to sing tenor.
And their 1980s hit, Lick the Candy Bar. For all technical support questions regarding the Mike O'Mara Show, please contact our man, Matthew Bloom.
Yeah.
Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Big fan of the Swizzles. All correspondence for our show can be sent to P.O. Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. I'll never get any of my gifts anymore.
You will!
And remember, the official TMOS eVoice line is open now and always at 800-440-8167. We'll be back with another brand new one tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
For Oscar Santana and Rob Spiewak, so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Visit LegalZoom.com to save on your legal needs like wills for $69, LLCs for $99, plus filing fees, and also get access to a network of legal plan attorneys for guidance. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but provides self-help services at your specific direction. Enter discount code TMOS for more savings at LegalZoom. That's discount code TMOS.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.